really knew of Bernie Sanders before this whole election process even started. Two people in this room remember Sanders, and one of those might be actually a little bit of a mistake only because maybe you have it a little confused with Colonel Sanders. So they're all appealing to a very different demographic. Bernie Sanders, interestingly enough, is taking a lot of the young vote in America. It appears, that's my impression, he's taking a lot of the young vote. It might be because we have a generation of young people that are so used to technology and gadgetry that they not only lack communication skills, but many of them lack the ability and desire to actually go out and work. And that's what this country was built on. I said I was only giving my impressions. It's just my opinion, not necessarily endorsed by Boca Raton Advanced Toastmasters. So now I'm going to ask for some of your impressions, and let's kind of have a back and forth a little bit, because this really is a fascinating time in our history. Give me some of your impressions on any of the politicians. Gary?
No comment.
Okay.
I've been well trained in Toastmasters verbiage at my home club. No comment.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Ballard, for jumping in.
Yes, first of all, you called it an election. Guess what? We haven't had an election yet. The election is in November, so you need to make that clear.
Okay.
And
We've
you
had a
said we
primary
have three
election.
choices, right?
We,
And you chose Hillary and Trump and Bernie. That's not the three choices. There is technically an independent party that you've not mentioned.
that could
So
happen.
if you're gonna be specific about the primaries and what's going on, we do have Republicans and we do have Democrats, but we also have an independent party that does have a candidate. So that's my
Okay.
comment.
All right, good point. Judy, thank you for the rescue.
My impression is that they're spending a lot of time criticizing and finding fault with each other as opposed to dealing with the issues and convincing us what their solutions might be. It seems like when I listen to it, I have yet to hear a solution. All I hear is criticism of the other candidate. And quite frankly, I just want to tune out because all the negativism is not providing answers that I'd like to hear.
Bingo. On all sides. Oh, my buddy Dave,
is.
coming to the rescue.
It's
I knew those
entertaining.
cinnamon buns
At the
would
very
pay
least,
off.
this
Go ahead.
whole cycle is going to be entertaining, and I think they should put Trump and Hillary in a big ring and have them mud wrestle. I think that would.
Okay, so, Steve Winters?
I was just going to say I'm so happy I can't vote. And if you think it's negative now, wait until it really starts, because these two candidates have got nothing good for either of them. So it's just going to get worse and worse, in my opinion.
This is probably the most negative campaign that we have seen in our lifetimes. And as Judy said, which is absolutely right on spot target, is that they're not talking about issues. They're just criticizing one another. Now, it is interesting because Trump, in his own way, who has spent the least, has the most amount of money, and has spent the least amount of money, has managed to get notoriety, whether it's good, bad, as he says, whether it's good publicity, bad publicity, it's publicity. And people's memories sometimes tend to fade. It's kind of bizarre what's going on right now on either side of the equation, but it's going to be a lot of theatrics coming up and a lot of history that I'm sure is going to be brought up from all sides of the election, and it should be a rather exciting time. Now, I did not, throughout this speech, I did not take any sides on this political conversation, but I do think it's a very exciting time in our history. And that's politics from my perspective.